Hello members, welcome to the vocabulary audio for the Emotionally Intelligent Husbands lesson. Let's get started. In the first paragraph we have the word data. Some people pronounce it data, some people say data. Either is correct. So data or data, and they both mean information or facts. And then we have the word newlywed. My data on newlywed couples. Newlywed means recently married. So people who are married, I don't know, maybe less than 1 year. We describe them as newlywed. You can use it as an adjective, for example, in this article, newlywed couples, right? Newlywed, recently married couples. You can also use it as a noun. You can say, oh, they are newlyweds, right? That couple, they are newlyweds. It means they're recently married. So noun or adjective, either one. Okay, so it says, my data on newlywed couples indicate means show, that more husbands are being transformed, changed, but changed in a big way. Totally changed a lot. We've had this word before. Okay, and then in the next sentence, we see the phrase emotionally intelligent husbands. Okay, you know the word intelligent, it means smart. Emotionally intelligent. Emotionally intelligent means good at dealing with your emotions. It means you can recognize emotions and you can express them, you can talk about them, you can communicate about emotions in a clear way, in an intelligent way. So some people are very smart, right? They're intelligent, but they're not emotionally intelligent. Maybe they get angry very easily. Maybe they act like babies, like little children when they get upset. They might be smart, but they're not emotionally intelligent. This article is about husbands who are emotionally intelligent, who are good with emotions. Okay, we see the word honors in that paragraph used as a verb. Because this type of husband honors and respects his wife, he will be open to learning more about emotions. Okay, to honor, used as a verb, means to respect. It's almost exactly the same as to respect. It might be maybe a little bit higher, a little bit stronger than respect, but it's the same basic idea. You honor your wife, it means you respect her very much. You want to be good to her. You want to hear her opinions. You want to help her. You think she's intelligent, etc., etc. You are honoring your wife. Okay, and then later on in that paragraph, we see the word emote as a verb. It's talking about husbands. It says, he may not emote in the same way that his wife does, but he will learn how to better connect with her emotionally. To emote means to show your feelings, to show your emotions, to express emotions, to communicate emotions. We call that emoting, to emote. It might also be used to mean to understand another person's emotions, but usually it means to show your own emotions, to emote. All right, we've got the word evolution later on in this, in the next paragraph, actually, in the beginning of the next paragraph. He says he thinks emotionally intelligent husbands are the next step in social evolution. Evolution means change over time. So transformation, we had that in the earlier paragraph. Transformation is usually sudden change, a sudden, very big, large change. Evolution usually is a small changes over a long period of time. So that's how those two words are different. Okay, and he says he doesn't mean that the old style of husband was superior, or that the new style is superior. Superior meaning better in this case, better than. And he's not superior in personality, he's not superior in upbringing, and not necessarily superior in moral fiber. Okay, upbringing means how you were raised by your parents. It means what your parents taught you was good and what was bad. That's upbringing. You can say, oh, I had a good upbringing. It means, oh, my parents were quite good. They taught me how to behave well. They taught me to be polite, for example. That means I had a good upbringing. Or you can say, wow, that guy, he had a bad upbringing. It means maybe his parents were very bad. Maybe they beat him. Maybe they were a really bad example. So that's why he's not such a good person, because he had a bad upbringing, a bad family life when he was young. then we have the phrase moral fiber. Moral fiber means your goodness. It means your sense, your feeling of what is good, what is right, and also what is wrong. If you have strong moral fiber, it means you always try to do what is right, what is good, what is kind. If you have weak moral fiber, it means it's easy for you to do something bad, to do something wrong. So moral fiber, it's it's kind of like your moral muscle, right? How much you are good at doing good things or doing bad things. All right, we see the verb to convey in that paragraph. To convey means to communicate or to show. Husband needs to convey his respect to his wife. So he's saying it's not enough just to respect her. You have to show respect. You have to communicate respect. You have to convey respect. And he says, really, it's that elementary. Elementary, of course, can mean elementary school, meaning school for young children. But elementary also means very simple. If you guys know Sherlock Holmes, his assistant Watson, or he would always say to him, it's elementary. It means it's simple, it's easy. All right, in the next paragraph, we see the word priority, that a wife must be the husband's top priority. Priority means what you think is important. You know, number one, first importance. Number two, second importance. Number three, third importance. Okay, so those are your priorities. It means if your wife is the most important thing, then you say, she is my most important priority. She's number one. Okay, and then we have the word revised in that same sentence. We've had that word before. Revised means changed, and it has the idea of editing something. It means you already have something, and then you change it a little bit. You correct it. That's what revised means. We use it a lot with writing. Please revise this. Please change it and correct the mistakes. All right, you see a kind of a strange phrase. It says a husband makes a map of his wife's world. A map of his wife's world. It's a little bit of a strange phrase. It means that he learns about the details of his wife's life. He learns, what does she like? What does she hate? What was her family like when she grew up? What are her dreams, etc. All the details of her life. He makes a map of his wife's world. That's what that means. And he keeps in touch with his admiration and fondness for her. To keep in touch with something or someone means you keep contact. It means you remember. In this case, it means remember. He remembers his admiration and fondness for her. Admiration meaning liking, to like something. If you say, I have admiration for him, it means you like him. Fondness is basically the same, actually. Those two words, admiration and fondness, almost the same. They mean liking. They're nouns, however. They're nouns. It's the feeling of liking someone or something. Okay. And finally, the last paragraph on the first page, we see the word outstanding. You probably know this already, but outstanding means great, fantastic, wonderful. So an emotionally intelligent husband is an outstanding father, according to Dr. Gottman. Is a great father, a wonderful father. Okay, on the next page, second page, we have the first paragraph. It says, the new type of husband leads a meaningful life. In this case, of course, lead can mean to be a leader. But in this case, it has a different meaning. If you lead a wonderful life, it means you do a wonderful life or you live a wonderful life. So it doesn't mean you're a leader. It just means you're doing it. You're doing a wonderful life. You're living a wonderful life. You're leading a wonderful life. Same meaning, all of those. All right, and he says this kind of husband, his wife will come to him not only when she is troubled, but when she is delighted. To be troubled as an emotion, it means upset. It means you have a problem, right? You say, oh, I'm very troubled right now. It means, oh, I have a lot of problems right now. I'm very worried right now. I'm very upset right now. I am troubled. And then the opposite is actually the word delighted. Delighted means very, very happy. Super happy. I'm delighted that I got a raise at my job. I'm very happy I'm getting more money at my job. I'm delighted. Okay, and in the last sentence of that first paragraph on page 2, we have the word mourn, the verb to mourn. It says, when this kind of man dies, he is mourned by his family. To mourn means to feel sad for someone who is dead, or someone or something that is gone. So someone dies and then we cry, oh no, we're very upset, we miss them, we are mourning them, right? We're remembering how much we love them and how much we miss them and how important they were and how important their memory still is. That's to mourn. You might wear, some cultures you wear black clothes. Sometimes people cry, sometimes people don't talk, whatever. But all those actions are, we call that mourning or to mourn. All right, and then finally, our last paragraph talks about the other kinds of husbands, husbands who are not emotionally intelligent. He says they're quite sad. And he says they respond to the loss of male entitlement with righteous indignation. All right, some good words here. Entitlement means power, but it's a special kind of power. Entitlement is a power that is given to you. It's not a power you take. It's not a power, someone can be very powerful because they make a lot of money, they build a business, or they become a politician, they're a good speaker. That's power, but that's not entitlement. Entitlement is when the government gives you power, or the society gives you power. You don't do anything to earn it. It's given to you. That's entitlement. So males, men, in many cultures, perhaps unfortunately in most cultures, I'd say, right now, have entitlement. The society and the government gives them special power that women don't have. That's entitlement. Now, in many societies and cultures and countries, men are losing these entitlements. They're losing this power that's given to them. And some men don't like that. And they respond with righteous indignation. I love this phrase. It's a nice phrase. You can use it in many situations. Righteous means you think you are right. You think you are correct. In fact, it means you think you are right and everyone else is wrong. I'm right, everyone else is wrong. And indignation means anger, strong anger. So righteous indignation means you're very angry because you think you are right and you think everybody else is wrong. Everybody else is doing something wrong and now you're really angry. So some men have righteous indignation. It's a noun. Because they think society is wrong. They're taking away men's power and that's wrong. Or the culture is wrong. Or women are wrong. They're taking men's power. And they become, if you want to use it as an adjective, you can say they become righteously indignant. But if you use it as a noun, as it is in the article, righteous indignation. Okay, and when this happens to a man, Dr. Gottman says, he may become more authoritarian or withdraw into a lonely shell. Okay, to become more authoritarian means to become meaner, to try to be a boss, more controlling, try to be a big, strong boss and control. And then the opposite, what he's saying is withdraw into a lonely shell means stop communicating, stop talking to other people, become very lonely and separated and isolated from other people. Okay, and finally, our last phrase is his due. Okay, this kind of man is looking for honor and respect that he thinks is his due. Is his due means is his right, is what he is supposed to have. These men think, it is my due. It means it is my right. It is my entitlement. It means I should get this power. I'm supposed to get it. That means it is his due. It is something he should have. He's supposed to have. All right, that is all for this vocabulary lesson. Listen a few times and then move on to the mini story. Bye-bye. Okay, welcome to the mini story for the emotionally intelligent husbands lesson. Let's get started. This story is told in the present tense right now. Here we go. Bob is a newlywed. He and his wife, Kathy, have been married only 2 months. Unfortunately, Bob is an authoritarian husband. Every day he tells Kathy, "Cook my food! Clean this house! Serve me, woman!" Bob feels he is entitled to be served like a king by his wife. Kathy is very sweet. She's a very sensitive person, and she emotes strongly. She always shows her true feelings. Kathy had a strict upbringing. Her mom told her to always obey her husband. Since she has strong moral fiber, Kathy tries to do what her mom taught. But every day she becomes more sad because of Bob. Finally, she has had enough. She yells at Bob with righteous indignation. "Shut up, you pig! I want a divorce!" Bob is so shocked, he has a heart attack and dies. But after he is dead, nobody mourns. Kathy takes his life insurance money and now is very happy. The end. Okay, let's start back to the beginning. All right. Bob is a newlywed. Has Bob been married for a long time? Well, no, he has not. He is a newlywed. Has his wife been married for a long time? Well, of course not. They both got married at the same time. Not a long time. They are both newlyweds. They've been married a short time. How long have they been married? Well, they've been married only 2 months. So they are newlyweds because they have been married less than 1 year. So Bob is a newlywed, and of course Kathy is a newlywed. They are both newlyweds, using it as a noun. Unfortunately, Bob is an authoritarian husband. Is Bob a tolerant husband? No. He's not tolerant. He doesn't care about his wife's opinions or other people's opinions. Is Bob a flexible husband? No, he's not flexible. He won't change at all. Is Bob a tough boss? Is he that kind of husband? Yes, that's right. He's an authoritarian husband. Is Bob like a dictator? Yes, that's right. Bob is an authoritarian husband. He's like a dictator. He's like a strong ruler over his wife. Bob is an authoritarian husband. Is Bob an authoritarian father? Well, no, he's not an authoritarian father because they have no children. Bob is an authoritarian husband. He's an authoritarian husband. Is Kathy an authoritarian wife? Well, no, Kathy's not an authoritarian wife. The opposite, actually. Bob, however, is an authoritarian husband. And every day he tells Kathy, "Cook my food! Clean this house! Serve me, woman!" Bob feels he is entitled to be served like a king by his wife. We're using entitled here as a verb, actually. Entitlement is the noun, but to be entitled can be used as a verb or an adjective. So Bob feels he is entitled. I am entitled to be served like a king. So in this case, it's not a noun. Bob feels he is entitled. It means he feels he has the power. He should have the power to be served by his wife. Does he feel he is entitled to be served by strangers? No, he doesn't feel like he's entitled to be served by strangers. Does he feel he is entitled to be served by his own mother? Well, I don't know, maybe, but maybe not. We're not sure, really. Does he feel he is entitled to be served by his wife? Well, yes, absolutely. He feels he is entitled to be served by his wife. Does Kathy feel she is entitled to be served by Bob? No. Kathy does not feel she's entitled to be served by Bob. It's the opposite. Bob feels he is entitled. He has the power. He should have the power to be served by his wife, Kathy. And Kathy, however, is a very sweet wife. She's very sensitive, and she emotes strongly. Does Kathy show her emotions? Well, that's right. Yes, she emotes strongly. Does she express her feelings? Yes, she does. She emotes strongly. She shows her feelings a lot. Does she emote only anger? No, no, no. That's not true. She doesn't emote only anger. She emotes all her emotions. She shows all her emotions. She expresses all her emotions. She emotes strongly and she emotes everything. She shows all her emotions. So Kathy is sensitive and she emotes strongly. She always shows her true feelings. Kathy had a strict upbringing, however. Her mom told her to always obey her husband. Was Kathy's upbringing relaxed? No, no, her parents were not relaxed. She had a strict, a very tough upbringing. Was Kathy's upbringing conservative? Very conservative? Yeah, I think you would describe that as conservative. Her mom was very old-fashioned, very conservative. She had a strict upbringing. Kathy had a strict upbringing. Did Bob have a strict upbringing? Well, no, not really. Bob was spoiled when he was a child. His parents gave him everything. They served him. They let him do anything he wanted. So he was kind of a spoiled brat. But Kathy, however, had a very tough upbringing, a very strict upbringing. Because her mom told her, always obey your parents. Always obey your future husband. The good thing about Kathy is she has strong moral fiber. She always tries to do what is right, what is correct, what her mom taught her to do. Does Kathy have strong moral fiber? Well, yes, she does, of course. She has strong moral fiber. Does Kathy try to do what is right? Yes, she does. She has strong moral fiber. She tries to do what is right. Would Kathy steal money from someone? No, of course not. Kathy has strong moral fiber. She would never steal from another person. Would Kathy try to kill another person? No, Kathy has strong moral fiber. She would never try to kill or hurt someone else. She has strong moral fiber. Why does Kathy obey Bob? Well, because her mom told her she should. Kathy thinks she must have strong moral fiber and therefore must obey Bob. But finally, she changes her mind, right? Finally, she yells at him because she is sad every day because of Bob. So finally, she yells at him with righteous indignation. Does she talk to him quietly? Well, no, she yells, of course. Does she yell with a lot of anger? Yes, that's right, she does. She's very angry when she yells. She's indignant. She has indignation. She yells at him with indignation, with anger. What kind of anger? Is it anger from being, hurt? Nah, not exactly. No, no. It's righteous indignation. She feels Bob is wrong and she is right. Bob is doing bad things, and Kathy is a good person, so she feels righteous indignation. She has righteous indignation. She yells at him with righteous indignation. When she yells with righteous indignation, what does she say? Well, she says, "Shut up, you pig! I want a divorce!" Is Bob surprised by Kathy's righteous indignation? Yes, he is. He's very surprised by her righteous indignation. So surprised, he has a heart attack. And then he dies. But after Bob is dead, nobody mourns. Does anybody feel sad because Bob is dead? Well, no. Nobody feels sad. Nobody mourns him. Does Kathy mourn him? No, Kathy doesn't mourn him. She doesn't feel sad after he dies. She thinks he's a pig, right? He's been a bad man, So she does not mourn him. She does not cry. She does not wear black. She does not feel really sad. She does not mourn him. Do Bob's friends mourn him? No, Bob's friends don't mourn him either because he doesn't have any friends. Nobody likes Bob. So Bob is not mourned by his friends because he doesn't have friends. And Kathy doesn't mourn Bob either. Nobody mourns Bob. Nobody feels sad for Bob after he's dead. What happens next? Does Kathy have a good life? Well, as a matter of fact, she does. She gets money from Bob's life insurance, and now she is rich and free and very happy. All right, good job. One more time. This time I'll pause. Please repeat the key phrases after me. Now, don't just repeat. Copy my pronunciation. Copy my rhythm. Copy my tone. Everything. Copy my emotion. Here we go. Bob is a newlywed. Good. Bob is a newlywed. Okay, very good. He and his wife, Kathy, have been married only 2 months. Unfortunately, Bob is an authoritarian husband. Okay, good. Unfortunately, Bob is an authoritarian husband. Good. Every day he yells at Kathy. He says, "Cook my food, clean this house, serve me, woman." Bob feels he is entitled to be served by his wife. Okay, good, a little bit difficult. Bob feels he is entitled to be served by his wife. Okay, good. Bob feels he is entitled to be served by his wife. Kathy, however, is a very sweet wife. She is very sensitive and she emotes strongly. Okay, very good. She is very sensitive and she emotes strongly. Good. She is very sensitive and she emotes strongly. She always shows her true feelings. Kathy had a strict upbringing. Good. Kathy had a strict upbringing. Very good. Her mom taught her to always obey her parents and always obey her future husband. Since she has strong moral fiber, Kathy tries to follow her mom's teaching. Okay, very good. Since she has strong moral fiber, Kathy tries to follow her mom's teaching. Okay, very good. But every day she becomes more sad because of Bob. Finally, she yells at Bob with righteous indignation. Okay, very good. Finally, she yells at Bob with righteous indignation. Okay, great. She yells with righteous indignation, "Shut up, you pig! I want a divorce." Bob is so shocked, he has a heart attack and dies. But after he is dead, nobody mourns. Okay, good. But after he is dead, nobody mourns. Okay, great. But after he is dead, nobody mourns. Kathy takes his life insurance money, and now she is rich and free and very happy. Okay, very nice. Use your pause button when you do this. Use your pause button often. But now, please use your pause button and tell all of the story. Tell the entire story yourself out loud.